All right, my little aliens. So I was a little bit strapped for a video idea, and I was talking to my older sister, and she was like, hey, you should do a video about this movie. It was mentioned in season 3, episode 2 of Atlanta. What Atlanta episode does he mention Food Fight in?
Season 3, episode 2.
Anyway, she led me to this movie called Food Fight. I had never heard of this movie, which is really surprising given how chronically online I am. Food Fight stars some pretty big names like Wayne Brady, Eva Longoria, Charlie Sheen, Hilary Duff. From the trailer, I feel like you can tell how shitty of a movie it is. So it probably will not surprise you when I tell you it is the worst movie I've seen in my entire life. The budget of this movie is $65 million. And do you want to know how much money it made in the box office? It made $73,000. The movie's set inside of a grocery store that comes alive at night, and the main character of the movie is Dex Dog Detective. I'm not sure if you caught it, but he's a dog who's a detective. He's head of the United Supermarket Defense Association, and he's suave, he's charming, he looks like he's perpetually melting. Also, he's voiced by Charlie Sheen. Because when you think of a heroic canine, you think of Charlie Sheen, right?
The secret's inside.
We meet his best friend, Daredevil Dan, and he's voiced by Wayne Brady.
I'm your best friend, Daredevil Dan.
He's like if what could possibly go wrong was a person. Or a squirrel. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what animal. I don't know what. You know, Dex is gonna propose to his girlfriend, and he's losing his shit. He's scared out of his mind, and I'm convinced Dan is on meth. Because what is going on? Dex asks Dan to be his best man, and he shits out of his eyes, says yes, and now it's time to propose to his girlfriend. And if you think I'm telling you too much information at the same time, I'm sorry. The pacing in this movie is really bad. This is Sunshine Goodness. She's a raisin mascot, and she's voiced by Hilary Duff. While Dex is trying to propose to Sunshine, Dan almost crashes a plane into them multiple times. And then his plane explodes. Sunshine says she's gonna go check on him. And then it cuts, and it's Dex and Dan talking. And Sunshine is gone!
Don't worry, it ain't like it's the last time you're ever gonna see Sunshine again.
Foreshadowing. It's 6 months later, and we meet this creepy ass guy. I'm sorry there was no warning. In an attempt to not keep him on the screen for too long, I'm just gonna tell you what he said. Mr. Clipboard, the creepy ass guy we just saw, walks in and starts talking to Leonard, the store manager, and tells him, corporate chose your store to test the brand X detergent. My ear just started ringing. Anyway, he walks in, he stomps on a chip bag, and Leonard is devastated.
Perfectly good bag of chips. Never enjoyed.
No one wastes me chips and gets away with it.
So within the 6 months we didn't see, Dex couldn't find Sunshine. He gave up being a detective, and now he runs a nightclub by the name of Copa Banana. Dan makes his way to the nightclub in a plane like he didn't just crash one 6 months ago.
Oh, Mamacita! Nice packaging! How about some chocolate frosting?
Dan tries to impress her, and can you guess what happens in the plane? He crashes it.
We gotta move. We gotta move.
Thank you. This diarrhea with legs tries to convince Dex to let him be his sidekick, and he ends up getting hit by a train. I don't know. Dex arrives at the Copa Banana, and we immediately see why their budget is $65 million. Bitch, is that Mr. Clean? Bro, they got Mrs. Buttersworth. They got Charlie the Tuna. So Lady X, voiced by Eva Longoria, is the leader of Brand X. She makes her way to the Copa Banana, and everyone loses their shit. Wow. Dex is immediately captivated by Lady X, every single one of her pixels. But Captain Crispy, who we heard earlier, is mad as shit because of the devastating murder of one of his chip bags earlier.
Really my fault you have inferior packaging?
Yeah, bruh, you ain't exactly new and improved.
Spuds for you.
Captain Crispy kicks his ass and...
Foodfight!
That's the name of the movie! Dex stops the fight, everyone leaves, and Lady X leaves with Dan.
What can I say? Chicks dig chocolate.
I told you! I knew it!
Dex gets home and he for real wasn't even gonna drink tonight, but he misses sunshine.
Crying over spilt milk.
It's Lady X! But where's Dan?
For a guy about your height.
I want to remind you guys that this is a children's movie. This movie is rated PG. If I had a child and I walked in on them watching this movie and this scene was on, this whole scene goes on way too long, especially for a kid's movie. But Lady X is trying to seduce Dex. Dex is refusing her advances because he's missing sunshine. He almost gives in, but then a whole bunch of people are dead in the street. Lady X accuses Dan of killing all the brand mascots that are dead in the street, and I'm not going to be repeating the word that they use to refer to the brand mascots because it is a slur that is used for Jewish people. Are any dots starting to connect in your head? So since a whole bunch of the brand mascots died in the street last night, all of their products go bad, and that gives Mr. Clipboard an excuse to sell his products in the store.
Something's wrong. Danny's in trouble, I just know it.
Anyway, Dex decides to put his little detective hat back on and then try to find Dan. A United Supermarket defense meeting is held, and these officers want to take over. Are the dots really starting to connect in your head now? Diarrhea with Legs tells Dex where he last saw Dan, and he ends up at the Brand X HQ. Him and Lady X end up dancing, and dude, your best friend is missing. Lock in. This is exactly why Sunshine is still missing. Lady X tries to get Dex to join Brand X. He refuses. She hits him unconscious, and then when he wakes up, he's in a dryer with Dan, and they have to find a way to get out.
Socks! That's it. Socks always escape from the dryer.
Dex comes up with a plan to stop Brand X from taking over the grocery store, and
Curfew is now in effect. Only Brand X officials are permitted in the aisle.
they're Nazis, dude. They end up with this... Hello? Alright. They end up with this guy, and Dex actually stole some Brand X elixir from the Brand X HQ. Anyway, this guy sniffs it.
The Brand X elixir is toxic to humans, and we're toxic!
Dex and Dan decide to prevent more killings of the brand mascots that they're gonna go to Leonard's office, type up a little email, and have the Brand X products recalled.
We'll be killed! But not that I can't handle that, because I can, because I'm a natural ninja.
This is the third time they've used this shot, by the way. We get to his office and we meet Vlad Chakul, and he's pretty much useless, and it's funny because he's gay and likes Dan.
Priscilla Pusley's genetically gigantic prunes.
Okay, I guess I'll be the bad guy once again and say what everyone's thinking. She's also hideous.
They're wasting so much time in Leonard's office. They had one mission when they went in, and it was to send an email to get Brand X recalled. Why are we wasting so much time looking at recalled products and repeatedly calling this ugly prune lady ugly, making fun of her? Lock in! But while they are wasting their time, they find out that Sunshine was recalled.
Brand X ordered both the recalls.
While they're sending out the recall form to get Brand X recalled, the Brand X general cuts the power, and if y'all had moved a little bit faster, the email would have sent. Since they don't know if the email was sent or not, they just go ahead and decide to fight Brand X, which I think is the only smart move they've done in this entire movie so far. Lady X is holding a rally in the streets, and she's announcing that there's only 2 types of product icons: desirables and undesirables. And guess what?
We must send all the undesirables where they belong. The expiration station. One world, one X.
She asks that they turn in any undesirables and join Brand X for a better way of life. So back at the Copa Banana, Dex has all the brand icons play the USDA anthem, and the Brand X generals are doing their little chant. I feel like I've been watching this movie for 3 days. Brand X eventually leaves. Dex goes over his plan with the brand icons, and they take action.
Food! Fight!
That's the name of the movie! While the Brand X army tries to retreat, they get creamed on... Am I in middle school? While Brand X tries to retreat, they get creamed on by the icons.
Cream them!
Lady X sends in more of her troops, and Dex allows Dan to get in a plane again. He has crashed twice. The fight scene goes on forever, and the brand icons start to make random shit out of aluminum foil to use as lightning rods. I don't know why. Dex goes to the Brand X HQ to cut off their poison supply, and while he's there, he finds Sunshine! Him and the Brand X general don't fight for too long, and then there's this stupid ass scene of Dex and Sunshine reuniting. I want to remind you that their world is being destroyed. Now is not the time. Mr. Clipboard ends up in their world. He ends up getting tripped, and it's revealed that he's a robot who's getting controlled by Lady X.
A robot?
Do you guys happen to remember the ugly prune lady that they were making fun of in Leonard's office?
Old neighbor?
But you were recalled. And butt ugly.
Quick trip to Brazil for a little plastic surgery.
She got a BBL. They get into a fight. Dex doesn't want to hit a woman, so Sunshine steps in.
Those melons real?
Tough now.
Sunshine beats her ass, and I guess getting her ass beat reverses her BBL, so she turns back into the ugly prune lady. She's sent away, brought to the expiration station, and then the big nose guy from earlier walks in and says he found an antidote for the dead icons. All the dead icons are brought back to life, and Sunshine and Dex get married. That's the entire movie.
Dex is Jewish? Yeah, kosher.
I can't believe I wasted an hour and a half of my life watching this movie. That is time I will never get back. This movie's nightmare fuel, and the animation really makes me feel like I need to take a shower. I did want to give you guys a little bit of a backstory on this movie because there's so many production setbacks, and I feel like they should have taken it as a sign to maybe not release it. The concept of the movie was created in 1997, and in 2002, hard drives containing film assets were stolen. Lawrence Kasanoff, the director, claimed that the US Secret Service got involved and they couldn't find a perpetrator. But some other people who worked on the movie said that no hard drives were ever stolen and they have no memory of it. $20 million was given to Threshold, the production company, in 2005 for the voice actors, the freaking Lionsgate distribution deal, product tie-ins, and a release date was eventually set later that year. They missed their release date, and then they set another one in 2007, and that one also missed. In 2011, the movie was auctioned off for $2.5 million. Movie was auctioned off for $2.5 million and was given to the Fireman's Fund Insurance Company to complete it and release it as quickly and inexpensively as possible. Another weird thing. Apparently, the director, Lawrence Kasanoff, asked for a personal nude 3D render of Lady X that he would admire in his office. Pixels on a screen. This movie's off the rails. It's a dumpster fire, and the more I learn about it, the funnier it gets. Who let this movie be made? In conclusion, Food Fight is a masterpiece of what not to do. If you ever feel like your life choices are a little bit questionable, just know someone greenlit this movie. This movie just made me sit and take a second to think about community. Seeing all the characters glitch and come together was admirable and beautiful, heartwarming, honestly, and it got me really thinking about my community. I really want all of us to come together, so I made a Discord. Anyway, that's it. Stop looking at me.